Looky, looky. I bought a fireplace.
I bought a fireplace.
I'm not really sure what this thing is called
In English.
It's in Estonian though. This thing is known as Bulerian. Bulerian ahi. So I paid about 500 bucks for the thing. It was only used for 1 year. And then it sat for like 5 years. Pretty typical with this type of stove. People just kind of buy them, use them for like a couple of weeks, and then never really use them again. Yeah, so this stove, guys, this stove will get me through the winter for the cabin, and hopefully the same time next year I have that proper brick. Maybe we'll buy a modular stove. I'm not sure yet, but this is just temporary, and once it does its job in this place, I'm gonna install it in the workshop next year. So this will be the workshop heater. This thing has 10 pipes on it. I think they don't make these 10 pipe heaters anymore. The standard is 9 and the next one is 11. So this is probably an older model, most likely. But the brand new 9 pipe heater, well, it's basically $1,000. So a 10 pipe model would be slightly more powerful. Basically, I just got the thing for half price. It even has some original paint on it. If I do recall, the heating potential for this stove is somewhere in the 300 square meter range. So this cabin, it should be somewhere in the 200s. So slightly overkill, but not much. The thing though weighs like a lot. Somehow need to get it in there. Wait a minute. Does this thing even fit through the freaking door? Wow. If it didn't, that would be like a major fail on my part. 73 or something. Man, I have a bad feeling. Oh, great success. No way. No way I'm moving this by myself. Let me go find some help. There is no help. There is no help. So typical, man. Just, what a joke. When I need help, everyone just kind of disappears. Poof. Vanish. I'm betting they're like looking behind the corner somewhere. And they're like, oh, looky, that clown needs some help. What do you say we go grab a bite to eat or something? That's exactly what's going on here. When I need help, it's like a ghost town. Oh, help me. Where everyone at? What a joke, man. What a freaking joke. Freaking ghost town, man. It's fine though. We'll manage somehow. don't think that's happening. I'm pretty sure I will screw up the floor if I try to. It's gonna mess up my tile floor. How does this crap work? Ew. Oh man. Just crap. Man, wish I took more of these I don't know, Soviet era shopping carts. There were like 100 of them. All went to the scrapyard. I only took 4. Should have taken more. Bro, I don't think that's going anywhere. However, I do need to remove the rubber. The rubber will burn up eventually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this thing will get hot enough so the rubber will start melting. I don't think it will catch on fire, but better safe than sorry. Think doesn't want to exit. Genius design. The rubber is just pressed into the rim. Impossible to remove. Man, I hate Soviet engineers. Sometimes they do stuff correctly. And when that happens, the thing will last forever. A bunch of monkeys, man. Why are we not making tank armor out of that crap? What a nightmare. Well, at least I have a tarmac road at the workshop now. Guess that's a plus. At least the thing is manageable now. Still heavy, but I can always cheat a bit. Bit of leverage and life should be a lot easier. Right? Kind of makes sense. Okay, we're slightly in a better position that we were in about, I don't know, 3 hours ago. Oh, that actually worked. I think that's gonna break any moment. That did not sound great. And we're good. The dial has not broken. Good. Oh boy, this is huge. This thing is just gigantic. Takes up half the kitchen. What the crap. Definitely too big for this building. Oh well, let's hook it up. What do you think? Some aluminium tape? No? great hack, man. This is the best combination I found with all them pipes that came with the thing. And it's temporary, so I guess I don't need to overthink this. Now I'm thinking maybe I should add that insulation around the pipe.
But the previous owner also used this aluminium tape, so I suppose it's fine. I don't know, let's just in case do a little test. I think the glue or adhesive, that thing will catch on fire, but so the glue will burn quite easily actually. Once the glue is gone, it will not catch on fire anymore. But be right back.
Basically, I think I'm just gonna leave it like this. You know, I could get that fireproof rope. Well, this stuff, and I could use that to seal the deal. That should do it. Personally though, I don't think I need it. I think the draft will ensure there are no smoke leaks anywhere. But anyway guys, this episode, kind of a continuation of the last episode. So up there. So the goal of this episode, basically just want to do a floor here, a floor finish, and I'm gonna try a do-it-yourself kind of floor. I do have an idea. I think it might look cool. One thing's for sure, it's gonna take forever. I'm guessing like a month, maybe 7. I'm not gonna spoil anything, so I'm not gonna talk about the idea. If you wanna see how it turns up, skip to the end and then maybe come back. Up to you. So the first thing that I needed to do was to install the fireplace down there, because I'm planning to use my own lumber to do this floor, and I want to make sure the lumber is sort of super dry. Well, not like super dry, rather it has to be about the same moisture content as this room is, so it remains stable. For example, if I put too moist lumber here, then that lumber will slowly stabilize to the moisture content of the building. And while it does that, it can shrink, crack, warp to the moon. To avoid that, it is usually advised to, well, for example, if you want to put a wooden floor, you take those wooden floor things, put them in the building and keep them there for about, well, they say about 2 weeks, but I would say maybe a month or 2. I don't think 2 weeks is enough. That way that lumber has some time to stabilize, I guess. And finally you can put it down on the floor and it will remain stable. I mean, the floor will look nice instead of having, well, cracks all over the place. Yeah, this is what happens if you do not pre-stabilize the wood, guys. I mean, check this cap out. I mean, that's why I also bought the fireplace. So I guess let's get the lumber in here. I think you're gonna be short of shock. Yes, guys, my homemade planks. Now some of them have been sitting for years. Some of them were made this year. And yes, I'm planning to use these to build my own floor. Gonna get some hardwood flooring. The life's so easy, right? Sleep, eat, and just kind of die. You're probably wondering, how the hell I'm gonna make a floor out of this vial? Vial of well, I wanna call it vomit, but that would be just cruel, considering all the effort I went through to get this vial from the forest here. Essentially, I have nothing to do with the stuff. I always want to do that epoxy table or something, a huge dining table. That would be cool. But I never seem to have enough free time. I wonder why is that. Maybe I should stop buying Soviet crap. Then I would have a bit more time to do woodworking because I love woodworking. By the way, let me know in the comments if you reached the end of the video, I mean. If you figured it out, how I'm planning to do this floor out of these planks. Let me know in the comments if you figured that bit out. But let's test this thing out. I want to see how this thing works. Want to know what the best part is? I don't have to take that 7-month break like I did last year. Thanks to this boy, I should be able to work on the cabin year round. And considering like 90% of the stuff that I still need to do are inside related, so we're good. I can continue the work even in the winter. Like the entire house is full of smoke right now, but finally started moving. Oh boy. It's been about things finally doing what it's supposed to do. Not leaking anymore, and wow, it's really hot in here. What? Really hot, man. Guess I can't really cook it too much. That's hot. The design of this thing is pretty interesting. They say that it has 2 burning chambers. One is where you put the wood stuff. There is a steel plate up there. I don't know if you can see. Anyway, above that plate there is another burning chamber where the unburned gases or smoke burns. Yeah, I don't know how it works, but it said that it leads to a more efficient burn. Maybe that's just a bunch of hocus pocus, but that's what it says. I'm not sure if you can see the heat radiating from it. That's a lot. I just got an idea. Worst case scenario, if nobody wants to live in this building, I could use it like a kiln, wood drying kiln. Best idea ever, man. But anyway, guys, probably gonna take like a month, maybe even more, before I continue that floor build. For you though, it's gonna be like 5 seconds. So, 2, 1. You know, I'm betting these things are dry by now. Can't even remember when I put them here. So either they're dry or my memory just kind of sucks. So yeah, I've been actually cooking this here for like 3 months or more. I've been trying to keep a stable temperature inside the cabin. That thing is capable of keeping this entire building warm. You know, I could just keep it here, but This thing looks ugly as hell, let's be honest. I mean, it has its uses, but do not want this here forever. Actually, I went to this Christmas party just yesterday. It was hosted at some local castle, I guess. That place was huge. The one thing kind of pointed out on me. So as we were touring the castle, we noticed a lot of fire stoves. I even took some pictures. So not sure if I'm allowed to show these, but just check these fire stoves out. I'm not really sure what you would call these fire stoves in English. In Estonian, they're known as potikivi ahi, and well, they're considered like a premium. They're quite complicated to build, and there aren't many people around who can actually build them. But this castle, man, it was just loaded with them. On every corner almost, it had a fire stove. Just imagine how much firewood that place would take just to heat it up. Wow. So while my co-workers were partying, dancing, drinking their minds into oblivion, all I did was just walk around the castle, man. The architecture, guys. I was really impressed by it. Did not care about the party at all. All I could think was, what a great design. Love that wall. What the hell? That is the most amazing staircase I have ever seen. Holy moly. What a fireplace. Man, this ceiling is huge. I love it. Etc. 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 So I just kind of kept exploring the castle. Went through it like 3 times. Best night ever. By the way, the owners of the castle told us that it's haunted. That sometimes you hear these children crying or footsteps in the next room. I did not see or hear anything while I was soloing around the castle, but you never know. Maybe there's something there. But anyway, enough of weird chat. Let's just kind of pick this video up where we left it. Goal would be to make those blanks into a floor up here. Not sure how that will work out, but how hard can that be? So I can prepare the blanks or the lumber, I guess, and then we'll decide. Plan is pretty simple. So I need to cut these pieces up. Need to cut the edges away, and I'm thinking I'm gonna do like 100 millimeters wide. I would probably love to do as wide as possible, but I just don't have a planer thick enough or powerful enough to handle these planks. I'm gonna cut this lumber up into pieces, 100 by whatever we have here. Don't need the edges, spark can go into the fire stove, and hopefully we have enough here to make that floor up there. Currently it's kind of cold outside, so I've been thinking maybe I should cut the lumber up here. This place is well, it's the dust cabin, so can't get any more dustier here. Plus these are kind of heavy, so I don't really wanna. I remember I had some problem here though. Like I think I put the wrong. Yeah, that's a B10 breaker. I need C16, so that will not do. The planer will trip that. When I was sanding the bottom floor, the breaker just continuously tripped because I was using the grinder and the vacuum cleaner at the same time. So this thing should work. Man, I love wooden houses. So easy to anchor stuff. So good. I'm not even gonna try to make up an excuse for that one. You guys are just gonna have to deal with it. Deal with it you shall. The hell? Welcome to my new woodworking workshop, guys. So cozy. You know, I realized there's this one more thing that I need to do. So this thing is rated for 16 amps. So I can't run this and that on the same breaker. I'm gonna add this breaker back and hook it up to a separate socket. Then I should be able to run the two tools at the same time. Sadly, I don't really have any more 16 amp breakers. So, but 10 amps should be good enough for that leaf blower. I mean leaf sucker. Not enough room here. For those who are wondering, yes, this is just a temporary panel. It's just here to give me some power so I can continue to work on the cabin. Once I finish the cabin, this panel will go away. And I already arranged a licensed electrician who will put the final panel in this building. Now I can do it myself, but I can't get it certified if I do it myself. So I need an electrician to set it up. You in a hurry somewhere? I mean, I hate how compact these things are. Every square millimeter counts. Need like a hydraulic press to close this thing. That is so wrong. Yes. The crap was that, man? I had no idea. It sounded so strange. Man, the blade is just bent. How did that happen? But it's not hitting anything. What happened? This makes no sense. Kuradi käed sul on, ma ei saa aru noh. Seam straight. Man, this blade is really messed up. Probably should replace it. I mean, there is just so many dents in it. It's like somebody has tried to plane concrete with this thing. Yips. I think there should be two of them here. Same deal pretty much, just a bunch of chunks missing from it. Now this is a high-speed steel blade and it can be resharpened, but I think you need like a special
sanding stone or something like that, because the profile, man, it needs to be pretty straight. You can't really take it to a bench grinder and sand the thing there. That will not work. It needs to be a very precise profile. So I guess I need some new blades. Check this out, guys. There should be 2 of these in this box. Genius, man. Genius award, whoever backed it up. Couldn't they find a bigger box? This is obviously too small. Box within a box. Oh, these are really sharp. Now, in order to install these knives, I guess, there are a couple of points there which should align up with these holes. But I gotta make sure there is no sawdust in between the back plate and the blade. Do you need to go somewhere? This is actually the first time I'm ever replacing this on this planer. So it has a double-sided edge, and if one side gets dull, you can just flip the thing around. I've had this planer for at least 8 years now. So these types of blades, they really last really long. As long as you don't hit any concrete, metal, or rock, I guess. Just cutting wood, they will last incredibly long. I think I know what that grinding sound was before. So it has a mechanical lock, and when installing this thing, it pushes that lock down so the drive would not be locked. I noticed that this side was not very securely secured, so I'm guessing that lock was kind of halfway there, sort of T-chained in spot. Huh. Whoops. Man, look at that gorgeous wood. I think there's birch in there and maybe some oak. What I'm trying to tell you guys is that this floor might just come out ridiculously cool. It's like sawdust is flying. What the hell, man? But anyway, guys, this is obviously gonna take some time. I need to go through that pile, then take it to this bench, cut them all into the same length, and then figure out how thick of a material I can make. The slimmest plank I have there will be the bottom thickness, and I have to plane all of them to the same thickness. So I'm thinking, let's just time-lapse this part. Get through it fast. At least for you guys. What was that saying? That famous saying. Work smarter, not faster. Or maybe get it finished. Double time. Or you're fired.
Boy, this is gonna take forever, bro. Wish I could do everything this fast. Don't you agree, guys? Well, that was fun. About 10 hours worth of fun. What do you think, guys? Do you like my firewood? Premium firewood. You wanna know what I'm thinking right now? What I'm thinking about? Wait, how is that box not collapsed yet? Yeah, addition to the DAF tools, I guess they make DAF boxes as well. But actually, guys, what I'm thinking about right now is Dominos. Ow. I've been hit. Call the medkit. I mean, ambulance. Medkit? How do you even mess that up, man? So this took me about 10 hours to do. Honestly though, I don't think I have enough. Not even close, buddy. Figure that bit out later. First though, let's talk about wood a bit. Wood, overall, doesn't really matter the species. Except bamboo, maybe. Whatever you send through the planer, it just looks gorgeous. And I think a bit of epoxy on here will make it look... Some people do not like defects. But man, I think this will look awesome once I have a layer of epoxy on here. Now, as per usual, my type of style, I try to skimp out as much as possible. So this board, it was cracked from the middle, but I kind of just screwed it on there and still planed it. Think I can use it. Because definitely I don't think I have enough. While I was planing, I realized I stumbled upon the wood that was under the bulldozer when I did the maintenance on it last year. So there were these dank threads inside the wood. The planer nicely cleaned that up, no marks were left behind, but I even got to reuse that lumber, which is saying something. Cheapskate. I also tried to clean the wood as much as possible because the ones that were under the dozer, they were just covered in sand and, I don't know, oil or concrete or something. So I did not really want to send that through the planer, and I did try to clean it up as much as possible. Now I got them pretty flat, but some of them are still slightly propeller mode. Most of them are fine though. On most of them I can use well, either side. On some of them the one side is damaged or it was not thick enough for planing. Like for example this piece here. But mostly I can flip them around if they don't fit correctly, because I don't think the sides are like 90 degrees on all of them. Maybe some of them are slightly off. In order to get them 90 degrees, I would need a jointer. So the jointer is like a... well, like a vertical that thing. So you joint one side flat and then use that flat surface to do the other side flat through the planer. I don't sadly have a jointer, hopefully one day. But maybe it's not a big deal, because we'll see. I mean, just having this piece of lumber, it looks like some stupid firewood. But sending it through a planer, man, that looks just gorgeous. Some people might even get bonus from this stuff. Not me though. It's kind of weird. Dude! Okay, so I've been kind of going over the design or layout of this floor. As usual, I can't decide. Firstly, I thought maybe use some type of a random orientation and then later fill the gaps with whatever. I was thinking rocks. Or basically what I did downstairs. I have changed my mind though. I don't wanna redo what I did downstairs. So upstairs I wanna do something like this. Solid wood floor with a boxy layer on top.
Now I did think about getting a dung and groove setup, so I could even join these pieces together.
Couldn't find any though. Well, I did find one, but that was for 19mm maximum. But I have 45. And I'm not gonna plane these down to 19. I figured if I'm gonna bore epoxy on top of it anyway, man, that thing is just gonna make it like a solid singular beast. The entire floor. It's just gonna glue everything together. And that should actually hold all the blanks nicely in place. I'm pretty sure I still need to sand the entire surface, but because I planed all of them roughly the same thickness, I don't need to do a lot of sanding, and hopefully it will look good. Gonna have a really funky floor, to be honest. Gonna be wicked. But the moment of truth now, I need to figure out how much I'm missing, because I'm 100% sure I don't have enough. Math, man. My head already hurts. Dude, I don't even have half of it. I need 27, but I have 11. This is not great. Not good. Yeah, I don't think I have any more blanks left. Well, actually I do, but... Actually, I wanted to make like a epoxy table out of these pieces. But man, they've been sitting at the attic for like 3 years now. Don't think I will ever get around that table thing, so might as well. Gonna see how much I will get from this pile. This is what desperation looks like. Man, I'm literally out of blank material. 0 left. Actually, I do have a bunch of them under this pile, but I can't use these. They're not dry enough. Plus, I'm not waiting like half a year to dry them out. I mean, this video alone is like almost 4 months in the making. Kinda sick of this crap. Okay, well, I'm gonna draw them up there. See what's what. Maybe they won't even look good if they're stacked right next to each other. Maybe a gap would be better. You know, I thought this was a lot. It doesn't look that much. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna lay from that end. Let's try the non-gap method first. Then we'll pick it up from there. It's gonna be sort of a rainbow floor. Gonna have a rainbow floor. I definitely prefer this setup to the gap setup. Sadly though, I did not have enough, just like I anticipated. I'm missing a chunk here. Maybe let's just pour concrete here and cover the thing up with a giant carpet. I think this might actually be pretty cool. Pretty cool floor. Now, most of the gaps, I think they're like acceptable. In some spots I do have some annoying gaps. I'm not sure if I can do anything about the side cracks, but the end gaps, I think I can fix that. I just need to slightly resaw them. And about the side gaps, maybe if I take the hand planer, I can slightly make it fit better. Well, kind of installing them, I guess it's gonna be like each blank has to be installed individually, and I have to pay attention about the gaps. This is just kind of wishy-washy right now. Kind of draw them on the floor just to see how much of them I'm missing. 1, 2, 2.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. About 93 pieces. Where to get them though? I think my only option is to go buy lumber. That feels kind of weird. I have not bought lumber for years. Everything I have, made by yours truly. I mean, most of this cabin I built out of my homemade lumber. The only things I buy are these tiny pieces. These are really annoying to make yourself, especially on a bad sawmill, so I just buy the tiny pieces. Sadly though, I don't see any other option here. I just gotta go buy some lumber. But I'm not gonna buy hardwood. I wouldn't even know how much dollar signs I have on the floor right now if I wanted to buy this lumber. Last time I was at the lumber store, the one single oak plank, they wanted like $60 or $70 for it. So much money, man. I'm thinking I'm just gonna buy vine and then just gonna mix it into the mix here. Couldn't hurt, right? I mean, this setup is already a complete rainbow. Might as well add spruce to the mix. Great news, guys. I was able to skimp this part out as well. You know, I suddenly realized there is that one room in the main house which is not finished yet, and there is a bunch of lumber there. So my cousin has been working on that room, but he hasn't done anything in there for about 16 months now, and now I have a bunch of dry lumber. However, let's keep this thing between us two. No need to spread the word. Bugger. Bugger, bugger, bugger. Will this running out of lumber crap ever end? Finally, man. Glad that's over with. I'm gonna be honest with you here. This floor, it will either be something pretty okay-ish, maybe even slightly cool, or it's just gonna be a complete catastrophe. Gonna suck for a while. Gonna suck forever. Because once I bore the epoxy, this whole area, it will be like a singular steel plate or something. So it's not gonna be very easy to remove it, if I ever wanna remove it. So initially I thought maybe I should put something under the boards. Something that will not let the epoxy pass through. But I think it's better if I just gonna glue everything together. So the OSB down there will be glued to the upper floor as well. The epoxy, it will find a way. Every nook and cranny, every crack, every hole, even bug holes, it will go everywhere. Epoxy might look like this thick liquid. It flows very slowly, basically like oil, but do not fool yourself. That thing is like water, it will go everywhere. And I'm almost positive that I need to add multiple layers here. So I'm gonna do first layer, wait a couple of days, second layer, more of that waiting thing, and most likely need to do a dirt coat as well. So I ordered 30 liters of the stuff. If you are wondering, then roughly 600 euros for the 30 liters of epoxy. I'm gonna quickly explain my game plan, and then we'll do a quick time lapse and finally end this stupid episode. At least that's the goal. So it looks like I have maybe like the majority, 60% roughly, of hardwood planking. Then I have that soft crap over there. By the way, absolutely no difference. Planing the pussy wood over there or planing the hardwood. I would even say this was easier. Do not like that wood, but no option right now. Okay, I do like one thing about the spruce. Sometimes the nuts do look pretty cool, but there are no good nuts here apparently, so this is crap. I think it would be kind of weird if I just put hardwood on this side and then the softness is there. So I'm gonna mingle these two together. Just gonna try to mix them up as precisely as possible. I think that would be a better option, but I'm not really sure. Maybe it's gonna screw everything up. Yeah, initially I thought I'm gonna develop a specific pattern, like I started off with. Keep the gaps at the same spot, I mean, just overlapping each row. Now I'm thinking I'm gonna dump that idea. Gonna make it completely random instead. The most important bit is that the gaps, man, they have to stay as close to each other as possible. Not just the sides, but also the dips. So if some of the dips, they don't want to stick together very well, I'm gonna resaw them. And I can use the hand planer to smooth out the sides. And before I do the epoxy bore, I have to make sure that the entire plank floor is pretty much anchored to the OSB there. Oh, and I also have to add some type of overflow boundary, so the epoxy does not go the places where it's not supposed to go. Me hopes. But I'm gonna try to... Well, basically I'm gonna try to glue the planks with this type of glue. Basically it's like insulation glue or something, but you can use it on wood as well. Downstairs I did experiment what type of glue is the best. I tried wood glue, which absolutely sucked. Then some silicone based wood glue kind of worked, but sucked. Silicone even worked better, natural silicone. And finally I tried this stuff. This did the trick downstairs, so I'm hoping it will do the trick here as well. This foam, it will not expand, so that's important here. Do not want the expanding foam. And I'm hoping to put at least 2 screws on each plank to further secure them to the subfloor. Bro, this thing dries really fast. I think getting the first line kind of straight is the most important bit. Everything else should just nicely follow suit. Basically, I think this might work, but it's gonna be extremely long, tedious, and boring. So let's finish this crap in like 3 minutes. Hopefully it will be worth it. Worth all the pain I've been through. Am I almost finished? Oh boy. How did that happen? This off! You guys have no idea how glad I am that that's over it. This took some time, but I got it all laid down. Ran out of lumber like 3 times. Don't ask where I got the missing pieces though. That's just not worth mentioning. You know, I think it's gonna look pretty cool. Once I sand the surface flat and put a bunch of epoxy on it, it should look pretty decent. Kinda looking forward for that part. Good luck to the guy who's gonna clean that crap up. Gonna suck for him. You know, this cabin, it has been pretty dirty over the past couple of years.
But I think this episode will take the cake.
Now, I know what you're thinking. What little DF is this guy thinking about? Is he seriously gonna sand the floor with that thing? Well, most likely not. That thing is probably gonna burn up before I even reach the halfway point. The most likely I'm gonna go rent some type of a floor sander here. But I wanted to test it out. Gonna see what this thing can do. The rental shops, they are closed today. It's sort of a holiday. As excuses go, that's probably in the bottom 3 there of the lamest excuses in the universe in order not to get a floor sander. But I have some time to kill right now, so I'm gonna try. Gonna start off with this thing, see how far I get. But actually, like a square meter, how long it would take to sand a square meter? Maybe not that long. Now, I've used this sander before as a floor sander, Not on this huge area though. The room that I sanded was about maybe 1/3 of this size. But the result, it was normal. It was pretty good. Man, kill me, please. Whatever. Let's just kind of go at it. Well, I'm about 20 minutes in right now. I would say that's about 2 square meters. So 1 square meter per 10 minutes. But yeah, I'm already down 2 belts. I assume the glue, it just doesn't like getting warm. And it just lets go. There's nothing wrong with the sandpaper itself. But this is kind of useless now. Kind of tempted to go and just rent the big one. I'm not getting it super flat though with that thing. There's still very minimal gaps, or rather like unevenness going on here. So I mean, for example, this overlap is perfect, but not here, and definitely not there, not there, also not there. And the floor is thick boy. So I have plenty of room to sand away. One thing that I'm kind of concerned about the big grinder is that it has this giant wheel, and I'm thinking maybe that sandpaper doesn't like these sharp edges. It might break the sandpaper or something. So I think I'm gonna just make them edges a bit less sharp with that thing, and then let's just get the big grinder here. Stupid line. Get lost. It looks pretty good, I would say. Actually, to the camera, it probably looks like finished. Looks pretty good. But it's not super flat. Well, sort of flat. But it's not super flat. Super duper flat. You know what's kind of puzzling? The B40 paper, man. Piece of crap or something, I don't know. I used up 7 of them before I reached the chimney even. They all failed the same way. The glue just decided to stop gluing, I guess. I don't know. I kinda ran out of B40 by this point. Continued on with P60. And I only needed 1. Actually, the 1 did not even break. Slightly on the edge, but I did this whole surface with just 1 belt, while I needed 7 belts for that piece. Seriously, what is up with that? You know, the most logical reason I would say is that wherever this was manufactured, They probably used their spit as glue or something. Pointless. But anyway guys, I don't have any more sharp edges anywhere. It's pretty smooth overall. So I think it's safe to rent that big sander. Yeah, I've never used that tool before. But when I was sanding the downstairs, you guys recommended that I should have used the same tool down there. Usually I don't like renting stuff, but whatever. Anyway guys, don't hate me too much, but I decided to skimp out. Did not went to rent the big one. I just kinda did the floor with that thing there. I think it's pretty much finished. It's flat enough. It's pretty much flatter than my face, so it should be good. So yesterday I still had some time left. Did not want to kick the bucket, and I just started to sand. And sand, and sand, sand. I did a bunch of sanding. It went pretty smoothly, to be honest. It was just maybe a bit slow, but physically not really hard at all. Just kinda had to bray on the floor a lot. I did about half of the floor, which just at late evening. And I finished off the remaining floor just before lunchtime next day. Now, what is kind of weird is that, yeah, the B60 paper, it just lasted for so long time. Sadly, I only had 4 of them. So once the 4 kind of broke eventually, I had to use B80, and that was also glued together with some, I don't know, expired condensed milk or something. Thing pretty much just broke in like 5 minutes. It's completely pointless. Maybe the manufacturer is different on the 2 different papers. But for some reason, yeah, the B60 is just lasted. Well, I would say like 10 up to 15 times longer than the B40. And the B80, that was just... Well, basically, you could probably get a better result if you use duct tape as a sanding paper. This thing, though, it did not survive. It just died. The motor still works on it. But the drive belt, it's just snapped in half. Probably an easy fix. I just need to order a new drive belt. All in all, I used up 1, 2... Yeah, man, check this out. Paper is just barely used. But it just lets go. This was the B80. I think that lasted for like 2 minutes. Same grab. 4, 5, 6, and I think I had like 4 of them down there. Let's just kind of summarize it up to 20. I was never good at math, 20 sounds about right. I guess they're about 50 cents each. So what, that's like 10 bucks? 10 bucks to get this floor sanded. Oh, and plus I need a new belt for that. I think it was worth it. If I got the big sander, I probably would have not saved a lot of time. But firstly, I had to drive like 70 miles in order to get it. 70 miles there, 70 miles back. So what, that's like already 2 hours wasted on driving. Plus the thing is heavy. It's advertised that the sander is 70 kilos. I can't pull it up here alone. And what if that thing drove into the abyss down there? It would punch a hole in my floor. Plus the thing probably costs like 2 grand and I would need to compensate that. So acknowledging all of that, sacrificing that thing in order to get this floor flattened, totally worth it. Found this forum where this woman, she rented that floor sander thing and she pretty much crashed it. She pretty much explained it like so. Okay, I started to drive the sander thing, but it just took off on its own and crashed against the wall. Yeah, but anyway guys, definitely want to get my first epoxy layer done today. Spilled some edges and pour some epoxy, I guess. Just gonna do one side. Epoxy sticks to wood extremely well. You can't get it off without breaking the wood. Yeah. Not really sure how good of an epoxy blocker that thing is. Guess we'll find out. Not sure about this bit though. I had an idea. Alright, I had an idea. So it's like maybe 3 will work, but 4 would be better.
Check this glue out, guys. This glue is just crazy. It did not break from the glue point. It literally just ripped a chunk of OSB out of there. Yeah, if you were looking for a solid wood glue, the foam-based insulation glue is just great. I almost forgot about the regulations, which, if I recall, say that I need at least 5 centimeters of gap between any wood and the chimney. Yeah, it might look cool. Who knows? Not sure about this though. It's sort of a gamble. It might look cool and it might just ruin the entire floor. But I'm feeling lucky right now. Maybe we'll score. What do you think? Should we leave this open or fill it with rocks as well? Kinda tempted to leave this piece open. Well, I guess we're pretty much finished. Where's my epoxy, man? Stupid ass holidays always delays my deliveries.
Finally, guys, Santa brought me a present. Here's how it went down. I put a pallet of Mountain Dew in the fireplace there. Then the Santa Claus sort of got stuck in the chimney. Fat ass and all. You know how it is. I offered the guy to help him out if he did do chores for me. Firstly, he had to bring me some epoxy. And secondly, the guy had to clean the cabin. Did a pretty bang up job, I would say. Do not ask how I got him out of there though. Kind of a state secret, that. To be honest, it would just be unethical to kind of explain how that went down. So combined, we should have about 30 liters of the stuff. I'm not really sure how many goats I will get out of it, but I'm thinking I'm gonna start off with 5 liters. 5 liters should be enough to give me the first coating on the second floor there. Now this epoxy, it's not your standard river Dable epoxy resin. It's I don't know, it's labeled as deco. On the website there, it said it's meant for finishing. The maximum thickness you can pour this stuff is about this much. So about 10 millimeters. I'm not sure if you bore more, will it not cure correctly, or personally I think it doesn't really matter, but I used the same epoxy on the bottom floor. This thing still looks great, apart from the massive amount of dust on it.
Now if we shine some water on the surface, then the colors do nicely pop out.
You guys told me that I should also apply a clear coat of varnish or something on it. Haven't done it yet, but I think I might do it. I don't think that job is time sensitive, so I can do it anytime.
Man, that looks really cool.
Basically the end goal would be to have roughly the same thickness upstairs. I'm not sure if I'm gonna achieve that, considering there are probably a bunch of cracks everywhere. And the epoxy will most likely leak down between the lumber pieces on top of the OSB. Well, then again, I do believe that's actually good. Then it will kind of glue everything together from all sides, from the bottom, from the sides, and from the top. But I don't think I have enough epoxy for that. So this stuff is not cheap, that's for sure. Just for this, I had to cough up slightly under 600 euros. Man, that's like 1/3 of my month's pay spent on epoxy. What will the kids eat? Is dust a good food? I don't know. Feed them dust instead. Do not call the cops on me, guys. At least let me finish this video first. Oh. Good thing that's not frozen yet. Well, if it's not frozen right now, then surely it will not freeze. So it's a bit warmer right now, but yesterday it was -26, guys. I went to the Soviet tractor. I wanted to see what would happen if I tried to turn the engine. Nothing happened. The engine would not even turn over. I just turned the key. It went like... It did not even do a single revolution. At least the cabin is nice and warm. And my work buddy, I was just talking to the guy yesterday. The guy has a brand new house. And I don't know, his water pipes in the cellar or somewhere, they just froze. How does that happen? I mean, even my stupid piece of crap cabin here, the water does not freeze. Last year, when I did not have the heater, it was also something like 26 degrees below zero, but it never went beyond -3 inside the cabin. I had no heater on it at all, but it never dropped below -3. And when I installed the insulation on in the building, a bunch of you did say that, why are you adding so much insulation on the building? Or something like, why did you ruin the outside look by adding insulation on it? This is exactly the reason why. Because I don't want to freeze my balls off. Period. Bro, I have no idea where that thing goes. Betting it will end somewhere. So 100 parts of resin to 40 parts of hardener. Check it out, guys. Bunch of dollar signs. Don't forget to use 2 different measuring cups. If you mix it in one, then that's pretty much a one-time use. I'm gonna wait a bit, let the liquid sit for a moment. Then it should be pretty much ready. What a banana.
I wish the entire floor was made out of that species. I think it's elm, or the core part of elm. That just looks that looks like bourne. Lumber bourne. Not bad. Pine is so boring. Apart from the defects, pine is just cheap.
Yeah. Going as expected.
Get a load of that crap.
So shiny.
Man, this thing looks pretty okay.
But I think we're missing something. I'm thinking a giant carpet. Something concrete color. And cheap. From IKEA. Really screwed the booch up there. My sock kinda left a mark there. It's fine though, I'm gonna park something there. Will not be seen. You know how it is with me. I always mess something up.
And this bit came out pretty much as expected.
All them rocks are nicely just glued into place. You will not exit this area. Also looks pretty interesting.
Kind of lame how the epoxy just bubbled up on this area. It's kind of ruined this plank, I think. I was hoping these bubbles would just dissipate on their own.
You know, mostly they do dissipate on their own, but sometimes they kind of get trapped and then it will look like this. Now you can use a hot air gun to get the bubbles away. I just did not do that.
This defect actually looks pretty dope. Not sure what this is about, but looks pretty cool.
You know how awesome it would be if the entire floor was made out of the darker colored wood. I like this white and dark mix, but I think it would be pretty cool if the entire floor was dark. Now, if this floor will hold up, meaning it will not like warp or anything. Please do not warp. Please do not warp. Then I've been using my bandsaw mill to make planks, but I haven't really had any use for those planks up until this point. So all the blanks which I had accumulated over the years went into this floor. I used up every single blank I had, except the ones that are kind of in the snow there. But if this works, I finally have a purpose for those blanks, and I can make more floors like this in the future somewhere. For example, in the outhouse. You want to know what's my favorite piece of this floor? It's not one of the dark ones. Definitely not. Although they do look pretty dope. I mean, for example, this piece here, pretty dope-ish. This looks pretty cool. Dope, dopeness, sicko. What is that pink stuff there? Oh, I think that's resin. Spruce resin. Wow. Boring, 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 boring. Not so boring. Dude, there is just so much different wood here. Every blank is different. None of them are the same. Actually, my favorite pieces is that one there and that one there. So this, what was this wood called? I hated this wood, but what was it called? Ash. Yeah, this is a spalted, half-rotten ash. And it looks amazing, man. Even can use rotten wood to make a flooring. Welcome to my cabin. Bunch of stupid bubbles, man. Well, at least here I can see the rocks under the epoxy layer. So what do you think, guys? Was this all worth it? I would say kinda, maybe. I started this video way back when, man. Way back when. I think it was October or something, when I hauled all this lumber here and just kind of parked it downstairs. Waited several months for that thing to dry, or actually it was already dry, I just needed it to kind of stabilize. And then I wasted several, I don't know, weeks processing the lumber, cutting the live edge away, planing it. Took me several days to glue them down, maybe about 6 hours to sand the thing, and about 2 days to pour the epoxy. I only went 2 coats. Don't think I need a third coat here. Plus I don't have enough anyway for a third coat. So for the first coat I used about 10 liters. For the second coat I went 15 liters. And I don't think I really need any more. The entire wood surface is nicely covered. There are no gaps anywhere. I mean, that's what I wanted. Now if I do find some gaps, I will make a bit of epoxy and fill those gaps. But mostly the thing is pretty much solid right now. And that's exactly what I wanted. Just to have a epoxy layer on top of the wood, which will make sure that the wood does not warp, move, shrink, and that's about it. At least I hope so. But anyway, guys, I think let's just kind of wrap up this one. In the next episode of the cabin series, hoping to build some sort of a staircase on this spot. I have a couple of ideas. But for now, see you in the next one. Ciao. Does anybody want some sawdust, guys? This is all the sawdust that came from that floor. I should try to make a sawdust floor. Put a bunch of sawdust on the floor, call in a tanker full of epoxy, and just pour it like concrete. But alas, I am not a billionaire. No.